officially, and we'll be starting right away, so... Alright, we should be live. Let me go ahead and check it. I mean, it says we're live, so... The answer is yes. Yes, we are in fact live. Awesome. Alright, hello everyone. Ace here. Welcome to the live stream. I am joined today with returning guest Alpharius.
Hola.
And today we are, of course, back with the amazing adventures of Cavan Scott's Space Israel as depicted in Star Wars The High Republic. The 2022 version of Star Wars The High Republic, by the way. Oh, and I was actually about to tell Alpharius something here, but I guess I'll tell you all as well, since now's the perfect time. It turns out I actually missed something. There is another comic book series for the High Republic. That's already 3 issues in.
There's too many of them.
So I'm going to, I guess, have to get started reading that as well. Ilya says, boo. Yeah, more actually good more actually good Star Wars comics. Ilya says they're all shit. Yes. Oro says, somehow I feel like I dodged a bullet by being in the past stream instead of this one. Reads High Republic in the title. Yeah. At least this will be one issue. Oro says, Alpharius, Ola is my word. You cannot use it. Nico 40K says, free space Palestine. Sadly, Space Palestine is actually a thing as well in this.
God.
I still can't believe that Cavan Scott decided to make the currency in Space Israel Zekels. Or it says Ilya is also trolling. The High Republic isn't good enough to wipe your ass with.
Oh, God.
To be fair, Oros, I would say that Cavan Scott disagrees with you, if the writing is to anything to go by. Nico's laughing. Yeah, So last issue we got introduced to Space Alex Jones, complaining about how Space Israel has a religious committee that is controlling the media. And is spreading misinformation to deceive the public. And
well, is he Space Alex Jones or Space Louis Farrakhan?
He could also be Space Kanye West at this point. Who knows?
Oh, no.
Everybody has done something good for the world, especially Palpatine. Oro says, Jews in space, I knew they were... Oh, that's a spicy one. Ilya says, is it currency just called credits? No, in this planet specifically, the currency is referred to as Zekels. Oro says, not on this planet. Would be interesting if everyone would be trading you IOU. I mean, technically, you could make the case that that's apparently... Depending on the planet, you could make the case that that's kind of what credits are. I mean, just look at Episode 1 Tatooine. Republic credits are no good out here. Anyways, Nico says, this cover belongs in a Green Lantern comic.
He ain't wrong.
He's not wrong, but it's also kind of cursed because this is a Marvel comic, so... Eli says, who was in Space Paris, you say? Ora said, Palpatine did nothing wrong. Alright. So let's carry on and see this, shall we? Chapter 5, Falling Down. The path of the open hand has arrived on Jeddah. Their herald demanding the convocation ban all use of the force in the holy city. But when the herald is dismissed out of hand... I see what you did there, Kevin Scott. He takes his anger to the streets, stirring up an angry mob with words of outrage and fear. They're not exactly just fear, when we know for a fact that the convocation has actually done the things that he says they've done.
Yeah, he's just telling half-truths.
It's kind of even hard to describe it as half-truths. I mean, they did nearly attack
He's
He's
telling the truth just in a very manipulative way.
He is, I suppose. Yeah, I guess you could say that. But even then, I wouldn't even really call it much. It is true. I will say that. I think you've hit the nail on the head on that. All the while, Tesseract languishes in a prison in the Temple of the Khyber, under the watchful eye of the Guardians of the Wills, unaware that the city is about to burn. As the convocation attempts to calm the rioters, a nameless horror moves through the crowd. A wave of terror leaving Vildar Mac and Mary Catherly incapable of controlling the force. And it's not just the Jedi. Tarna Miak, the representative of the sorcerers of Tund, is swamped with terrible visions and lashed out, unleashing his power on the crowd.
God.
So I believe I was voicing this character, and I gave him the 90s attitude voice. I wasn't there when the riot broke out. That happens when you're rotting in the cell for a crime you didn't commit. But maybe I shouldn't complain. The Convocation Building, Jeddah. The weird thing was that no one seemed to know what kicked it all off. The Herald's speech, sure, that was incendiary, but this was something else. Anger. Vildar, what's happening?
I don't know.
Confusion.
It can't be real.
Fear. I think you can voice this character.
Going to kill everyone. Like before. I was a child. I couldn't do anything.
Vildar, I don't understand what's happening. There's something wrong. Something wrong with the Force.
No. Not with the Force. With us. Tana, listen to me. Whatever you're seeing, it isn't there. Do you hear me? I think I voiced this guy too, actually.
Yeah.
There are demons! Demons in the streets! Matty's right. Something's happening to us. To anyone who feels the Force. We need to calm the people, Tana. We don't need to keep the... safe?
Protecting the peace. Protect the light. Susali, this isn't the way. You're only going to make it worse.
Master Libon. I think I'll voice this guy too.
Yep.
The Herald was right. First the convocation lies to us, now they attack. I voice this girl too?
Go ahead.
That's not what's happening. So says the Jedi. You never change, always telling us what to do. You always change. You never change, always telling us what to do. I'm not. Stay back.
I mean, she's kind of telling him what to do by saying stay back, so...
Yeah. You need to stay back. This is getting out of control. You think? But you're right, Mac. This feels deliberate. I apologize for my reaction.
As he's still burning a dude's face with fire.
Yeah. We're all allowed a bad day.
Randomly attacks civilians with force powers by setting them on fire. We're all allowed a bad day.
Yeah, Anakin just had one really bad day, you know? just had a really bad day.
Obi-Wan cuts Anakin's arms and legs off, and as he's set on fire at Mustafar, "You were having a bad day, Anakin. I loved you." Anakin screams, "I hate you! You're still having a bad day, Anakin!"
Oh, God.
Okay, so... oh dear, the amount of... Imagine... I'm kind of curious what Osmegon would say at a time like this.
Something entertaining, I know that for sure. Oh,
honestly,
God.
this would probably be about the point that he would leave the stream temporarily and then start sending messages because he'd be too pissed off.
I mean, that is a line so un-Jedi-like. Holy shit.
Okay, I'm going to have to go send via message and explain to him how a Force user basically committed Space Columbine with Force flamethrower powers, and the Jedi's reaction is, and I quote, "We're all allowed to have a bad day."
Palpatine is just having a bad day.
Ilya says it's not that bad, Ace Cheese. Yeah, it is. Oro says be right back, and Osmegon would probably just execute the stream commissar style. Oh God, I'm thinking of Horus talking to the Emperor there, saying, "I'm sorry, I just had a bad day." There's so many ways that line does not work. And I still can't get over the fact that he's saying that he's apologizing while still setting a guy's face on fire.
That's, oh, God. Shall we continue?
Yeah. Yeah. I'd say we need to get past this, but let's be honest, this is Cavan Scott, so it's probably going to get worse.
I'm going to be here all the way.
But so many at once? Whatever we felt, whatever we experienced, it's passing.
Tell that to the people. You heard Tarna. This was no accident. Something did this to us. Something or someone.
As she sends another dude into the dirt, because, of course...
Oh, something or someone suspicious. I think she's going schizo.
Yeah. Olivia! Go after her. We will deal with this fracas. With a lightsaber!
To be fair, he did have a piece drawn on him.
Okay, that one's actually reasonable.
Is that what we're calling this?
No point in being overdramatic. Yo. It's not exactly overdramatic when you've got a dude that randomly started attacking people by setting them on fire. It's fair to say that Master Liban had a talent for understatement. I wish I'd met her. So I ended up voicing another chick and I didn't even realize it. Good to know. But events were already spiraling out of control. Fighting breaks out across the city. Years of infighting and intolerance coming home to roost. That's a pretty spicy take on space, Israel.
It ain't a wrong take, though.
Nico 40k says, "Oh God, furry bait, the Temple of the Kyber." You want to voice this character?
Yeah, sure. Open up! Open the doors! Please!
Not even my jailers were immune.
It's crazy out here. I was attacked. My stock stolen. They said I looked like a Jedi. Me! Please! I need protection. I need sanctuary. Wait, so Jedi are a persecuted class now. Okay. They said I looked like a... My lawyer has advised me not to continue this statement.
The Jedi cries out as he strikes you.
God. It's getting worse.
Yes, it is. I need to say that I'm probably paraphrasing what Cavan Scott was thinking through his head as he made this. But, nice.
Maybe we misjudged Cavan Scott all along. Maybe he's just like us after all. God. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Bless your hearts.
Of course, my brother. Quick, enter so we can secure the temple.
Really? You lock the doors while the city burns?
Well, that's the whole point of a sanctuary, is it not?
Shame on you, brother.
Oh, and it was all a trick to open the doors just to get the guy attacked. Well then, this is turning into something different. Uru says this the local furry. I want to say that all this furry is throwing me too mainstream and too shit. Uru says looks at Alpharius as if he was crazy. Misinterpret him. We did not. Wait, who are you people? This is sacred ground. Guardians, guards.
That's enough of that.
Ugh.
Spread out. You know what we're looking for.
You're looking for trouble if you forced your way in here, Pilgrim. The Force is with us. We are one with the Force.
Then why don't you join it?
Scowl. Of course I wouldn't wish a violent death on anyone, not even my greatest enemy. But one person's misfortune is another's opportunity. Especially when you're in need of a prison break. Scoot, finally. You took your time, didn't you? A riot? Riots, plural? For pity's sake. I'd get locked up for 5 minutes. That doesn't look good. Not good at all.
Please, I don't know anything about a rod.
Oh well, no skin off my ears. Or an ollie. Couldn't happen to a nicer sand guzzler if you ask me. No, Scoot, it's not my problem.
I'm telling you the truth. I don't know nothing about any of the.
Druck.
Okay, we gotta edit this guy with Bully Maguire music.
I
I missed the part where that's my problem.
should keep running. Should definitely keep running. But. Hey there, sorry to butt in, but I couldn't help but overhear you being a complete and utter bloat farmer. Archivist or Anali, I suggest you skedaddle, like right now.
Surik,
Olivia, wait up!
there's something up ahead. There's something up ahead. I can feel it.
All I feel is sick. Another dude set on fire? That's good to know.
Olivia, Olivia, can you hear me? Uh, I saw something.
I think, yeah, that's your line next, and then I'll be you doing my line.
We've all been seeing things. That's the problem.
But are you seeing this? It was them who started all of this. The path of the open hand.
Please, you need to keep back. The 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 almshouse is old. The roof is already collapsed. Force protect us. It's one thing after another. What's going on here?
Hey, what do you think you're doing?
Helping. We don't need Jedi.
Jaden, we have people trapped inside. We need all the help we can get.
Matty, you're with me.
Am I now? Let me fix that. Olivia, can we leave you to calm down everyone down?
Not by the sound of it.
Alright. Oh, let me read this. Ilya says, curb it with anti-Jedi sentiment. Nico says, then why don't you join it? I'm getting 90s comic book flashbacks. Ilya says, the writing needs to stop, and if it takes Imperial aligned militiamen with blasters mowing down dipshit rioters. Space Destiny! I mean, is Space Destiny really wrong about that one specific take? Granted, I disagree with the guy on a lot of things, but if he got rioters actively doing stuff like that, it's... But I will say, though, in this specific case, the rioters themselves were originally the ones attacked at first. Doesn't justify burning random buildings down, but you do have the right to self-defense, I think. Even if a Jedi goes crazy and tries to set you on fire. Uru says, this comic is all up for burning the witch. Who is the witch? Everyone is a witch. I feel like I am part of the Spanish Inquisition all over again. Nico, nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Alright, let's go ahead and continue, shall we? Alright, so I think, let's see. Olivia, help! The final protector.
The final protector? You mean the statue? What are you doing there? What are you
No,
doing out there?
no time to explain. Come quickly.
Sorry, Matty. Master Livon needs my help.
And she calms you, not her Padawan. Looks like it's down to me. Okay, pilgrims, everyone needs to stop shoving.
Are those mortars?
No, the vibrations. The Quimerian woman said the building was Stars End, Vildar. So we now have people firing mortars into space Israel. You know, just to make the analogy even. Also, are mortars even a thing in Star Wars?
Yeah, I'd imagine they are.
I mean,
At least they are. At least I'm sure they are down the line. That just seems like something any military would have, honestly.
yeah. I honestly, I know that they have artillery, obviously, but Jedi CIARAN, think the Force.
Master LeBon, what's happening? You said
I would deal with the rebel outside the convocation building, but for once, the convocation will have to look after themselves. The dunes of contemplation.
that's you. I don't understand. How did you know it was being attacked?
1, 2, 3.
Tear it
it down.
down.
Tear it down.
Down.
All in good time, Olivia. My friends, we must talk. This is not the way.
Here they come, desperate to protect their legacy. A legacy of intolerance and subjugation.
So we now, Kevin Scott, not convinced enough, not satisfied enough with talking about Space Israel, now wants to talk about the tearing down of statues.
Ugh. You want to voice the next guy? I can.
I can do it. Yours isn't the only truth, Jedi.
We never said it was.
Jedi Zeveron, right. And now they show their true colors. Blow the charges. Charges? Why would you try ripping the statue down if you put charges on it, you dumb...
No, they were clearly trying to psyop the Jedi into getting close. Obviously, that's how it works.
And the Jedi wouldn't sense something like that, because... Obviously.
Because it just works.
Horus says, mortars do exist in Star Wars. They are, however, generally more used by lower tech species because they are far more common. And high tech ones available, you may still consider it plausible. Okay, fair enough. But I'm not going to give this comic any fucking credit. Yeah. Healy says, mortars don't exist. Nico, space is Californian. I'm sure the Gungans had... The Gungans had basically a catapult system. So that's the first thing. A mortar is supposed to be technically a ballistics-based weapon, so you use an explosive propellant, at least in a traditional mortar, to send whatever you're using at a high angle above 45 degrees to just lob it onto a target. That, in a nutshell, is what makes a mortar a mortar. Some of them do use tubes, some of them are spigot designs, but generally that's the big thing with a mortar. Thing is, what that means is that technically speaking, even if you're talking about explosives, if it's not propelled by an explosive, it technically isn't a mortar. So, something like, for example, they had, for example, trench catapults in World War One, where they had a little catapult system that would lob grenades into an enemy trench. They also had special crossbow systems that did similar things as well. Those would not be considered mortars, even though those would lob them at high angles, because they didn't use an explosive to propel the charge. Anyways, let's go ahead and continue.
Oh my god, the smiles on this page.
Crumb, crumb, crumb. Finally, the Jedi's dominance is at an end. A free Jedi for all.
The song, the luminous.
I have a feeling this is what far leftists think they achieve by just destroying statues. Like that time they tore down the statue of or tried to tear down a statue of Teddy Roosevelt or something. We tore down a statue. Racism is forever over.
Well, boys, we did it. Racism is no more.
Ilya says, technically this is you, Ace, and it's an image of a nerd. Yes, I embrace the nerdom when it comes to weapon designs.
An impressive power.
To be continued.
Oh, that's not good.
So, yeah. So, fortunately, this actually only lasted half an hour, which is impressive, because there's certainly a lot to make fun of in this one comic. So, thoughts on this particular issue, Alpharius?
Force napalm sticks to kids.
Yeah. Yes, it does. Even when you're trying to apologize.
Oh yeah, my bad. Let me just burn this one last guy's face. Hold on. Now you good chief. You just have a bad day.
Oro says, everyone when we see the to be continued goes like this. I fucking hope it doesn't. Yeah.
Oh, I hope it does. I'm loving this. I'm loving cringing this hard. Oh.
I get to tell Osmegon about how the Jedi think it's just a bad day to set a bunch of civilians on fire with the Force. And that you're allowed to have bad days.
Yeah, that sounds like something a Jedi would say.
The fact that Kevin Scott even is so self-unaware that he's actively taking the piss out of the far left, who think that tearing down statues permanently ends anything other than, the statue itself.
I'm going to be honest. He's done so much at this point that would undermine his own cause if he actually believed it. I'm going to jump the shark and say he probably doesn't actually believe any of it. Dare I say it?
I think it's a case of horseshoe theory where he's gone so far to the left that he's starting to sound he's starting to take the 1488 route.
That is funny to see. Oh, God.
Elias says, Alien Zuko. See, okay, Zuko, I wouldn't even... That sounds especially cruel to Zuko as a character. Which, to be fair, there's a lot that you could say about Zuko, especially early on in Avatar, but that seems especially cruel because he did have an interesting character arc for what it's worth, even if he was a whiny bitch at the start of the show.
Okay, I just looked at the comments and realized that at some point there was an Akira reference.
Oh dear.
Yeah, page 20. Yeah, it's not so bad.
Oh yeah, oh wait. Yeah, that is an Akira reference if you really wanted to get... Yeah, that is an Akira reference. Not a very good one, but it is one. Seriously, all they did was the animation thing there. Elia says, I think you're looking too much into it. Well, here's the... Okay, so I have to explain far leftist philosophy here real quick. Specifically, let's talk about...
I think you might be talking to me, actually.
Oh. Looking too much into what?
Him contradicting his own professed beliefs so much that I'm starting to think that he doesn't actually believe anything.
I mean, it would be kind of funny, I'll admit, like, if he ended up being like that one Canadian teacher that, decided to wear the prosthetics as a massive shitpost. Emphasis on massive. Elia says, holy fucking shit, it is an Akira reference. Yeah, it is, but then again, there's more. It is an Akira reference, but it's just trying to mimic something that happened in Akira as far as the animation is concerned. Or a specific shot, anyways. Aura says Nico 40k from 6 to 8, maybe a 9, depending on how much trouble the kids at school give him. Because if he's tired of other people, he's going to swear like a sailor. Okay. But anyways, so compared to the other High Republic comics, where would you rate this one?
You're hitting me hard with this because so far I found this to be by far one of the funniest, one of the most inadvertently funny.
For all the wrong reasons. But
Ergo, why it's inadvertently funny.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that Kevin Scott... the writing of Kevin Scott is truly something to behold. It's like Uwe Boll got into comics, is what it is. And it's like no. It's like if Uwe Boll became very political and then got into comics. That's what this writing feels like. Nico says, I give it 1 Columbine out of Israel. From a technical standpoint, I will actually have to say this. Maybe I'm just used to the pain, but I am kind of agreeing with Alpharius on this as well. It is inadvertently very funny how much he screwed it up. What's hilarious is, of course, the fact also that Disney tried this little reboot of the High Republic era to specifically avoid all the baggage of Part 1 or whatever it was. Or Phase 1 or whatever they called it.
Wait, you're telling me they're not going to continue that story?
At least they put it on... They claimed they were going to put it on pause for, I guess, Phase 3 potentially. Although, let's be honest, the fact that they had to abandon Phase 1 during Phase 2 kind of implies, well, they might just try to abandon it altogether. Who knows? So you could
Frankly,
actually look at this as a reboot of sorts of the High Republic era, but because they have the same people on board, it is still turning into a massive shit show.
honestly, that makes me just a bit sad. I wanna continue seeing the adventures of the homicidal not Jedi.
I mean, we're getting
Enter.
him right now.
You're right, actually.
Rua says, look, as far as the High Republic goes, this is far, far from the worst.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he got it
that is
right.
true. That is true. It is definitely not as bad as the. I will say this: this is definitely not as bad as High Republic Adventures. It's also not as bad as. I don't think it's as bad as the earlier High Republic series either.
Yeah,
I don't think there's any actually legitimately decent moments from this, though. So I'm going to say that this is probably called. I'm not sure. Right now, I'd say that this is worse than Monster of Temple Peak. Because at least that had Coom Spider.
indeed.
So, probably slightly better than Trail of Shadows at this point. So it's probably between Trail of Shadows and Monster of Temple Peak is where I would put this. So far, we'll say that.
So far.
Nico says, at least you can have a laugh with how bullshit it is compared to being bored.
Indeed.
Yeah, at least it doesn't make your head completely hurt. And it ends up becoming just so ridiculous that you have to laugh your ass off at some stuff like we've seen earlier. So, yeah, I think this is a good time to go ahead and call it. So, anything else you want to add, Alpharius?
Not much else, honestly.
So, yeah, tune in next week when we cover the other new High Republic series.
God help us all.
God help us all indeed. But until then, this has been Ace.
And Alpha.
And we both hope to see you all again soon. Until then, take care.